Have you seen truck prices lately? They are literally getting out of control. Ford trucks, GM trucks, and even Dodge trucks here have costs that are cost prohibitive. People can't afford to buy these anymore, and now they're getting very, very mad. Customers are actually looking for other alternatives. And the statistics based on Cox Automotive describes all of that, which we'll talk about. What are the things that customers are doing? We'll get to that too. But first of all, let's look at a couple of examples of highly priced pickup trucks that you're finding on the modern day market. Right here, let's take a look. Over here, we have a beautiful little white Dodge over here. What a gorgeous unit. Look at this. We have a Ram. This is a turbo diesel right here, and it's a heavy duty 3/4 ton. Beautiful little vents on there. Gorgeous grille. This is a great looking truck. Look at the big heavy duty mirrors you have right here. Gorgeous unit, painted. Obviously a very nice looking unit. They have the all-terrain, mud terrain type tires on here. It's obviously a beefier tire, and we talked about how Ram is starting to escalate more of their utility and all-terrain type of truck. This is a beautiful unit. Obviously it's a diesel, as we see right here. And as I see, we're looking at a Ram 2500 Crew. This is a Rebel 4x4, and this one is $106,000. Right there, 106 grand. And then over here we have a beautiful Ford. We have a Super Duty is right here, and the large blue oval. It's a beautiful truck all the way around. I mean, take a look, chrome door handles here, large mirrors that obviously swivel in and out. And this is an XLT F350, very, very large truck. And this truck here, $105,000. And this one basically just has simple tires, heavy duty, of course, and it's a Crew, but this is expensive too. And we have another beautiful truck. This one's a little smaller, half ton here, and we're looking at a Ram. This is a 4x4. As we see, they have this beautiful decal on the back. He has brand new tow hitch, never been used, nice and clean. You have the nice chrome tips on the bottom, as you can see, little chrome painted bumper, which is nice, and these massive 22-inch wheels right here. Very, very expensive wheels to replace, of course, when they go. We do have painted handles, which is a nice feature. There's Monroney, which we'll talk about in a second. But I'm looking at some great features here. I've got some nice chrome flip away mirrors, and this is a 1500 Hemi E-Torque right here. Definitely like that grille. It's very clean. You do have tow hooks down there, and this is a beautiful rig. Look, it even has a sunroof on top there as well. We have the regular short box here. Definitely a nice unit. Lots to look at here. Gorgeous. We got some backup sensors here. Just a nice truck. But how much are these? This is clearly a more premium vehicle with all the painted finishings, and of course with all of the oversized wheels and painted everything. This one here is a Ram 1500 Limited Crew Cab 4x4, and it goes for a whopping $93,890, of course including sunroof and big wheels. That is literally getting out of control. I mean, there's so many trucks on the lot, and a lot of these are still 23s. I mean, take a look. We have this massive row of trucks right here, another row right here. And then as we go to the next one, I already walked by 2 other rows of pickup trucks, and right here we have another couple of rows of trucks. Lots of trucks to choose from. Lots of 23s here yet, and they're still charged full dollar. They're not showing any of the markdowns. I know they'll show it on the website. And here I just check online. I'm gonna have a look. Yeah, there's trucks here for $5,000 off, $7,500 off, $18,500 off. These trucks aren't selling. Why aren't they selling? People don't want them. That's why. They're clearly very, very expensive. And the worst part is people are getting into these vehicles now that they need a little bit of a discount. People need a little bit of a break, and these pickup trucks charging at $80,000 or $90,000 aren't the brakes that people need. I mean, I just found a truck that's very similar to my old 2003 Ram, but when we bought mine was barely over $28,000. And here we have a very simplistic, more entry-level pickup truck Ram right here. Sure, you get the chrome tips, and it does come with the Hemi, and this one's 4x4. Mine wasn't 4x4, but it came with the 4.7, so there's quite a differential, but it does have the plastic handles like this. It definitely has plastic mirrors, simpler wheels on these vehicles. This comes with a 5.7 Hemi Ram 1500. And of course, this is the Classic, as you see right here, the 1500 Classic, definitely more of a base truck. And what do we look over here? The sticker actually tells us we're dealing with the 2023, new old stock yet, 2023 1500 Ram Express Crew 4x4, $64,000. I don't get it. 64 grand. Yeah. Now, as I walk down the lot, almost every one of these trucks are 2023 model years. Very little 2024s. They can't even sell the old outgoing stock, the 23s. They're trying to incentivize them, but even with the huge incentives of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 off, people still aren't buying. But yet, all these car manufacturers are saying that they're selling trucks and vehicles and SUVs and cars. That's just to try to stimulate the environment. People are starting to see through that. and it's clearly not actually happening. And what's actually happening are the sales that are going on with GM, who just bragged that they had the leading sales between Chevy and GM trucks, and they finally outdid Ford here this last quarter. What's actually happening is the fact that that's primarily fleet sales. Yes, that's right. Fleet sales are through the roof. Of course, businesses, corporations, and as well infrastructure organizations need fleet vehicles for their fleets, and that's what's selling. And what's not selling are these very, very expensive trucks. We see these big, bold trucks with all kinds of powerful drivetrains, 4x4s. We have diesels, gas jobs, 5.7 e-torques. We have turbo Fords, 5-liter Coyote. We have GMs with the 5.3s as well as the 6.2s. And even Toyota are struggling to sell some of their full-size trucks in the Tundra with that new 3.4-liter twin turbo, because it's got axle issues as well as it's got wastegate problems, rod bearing issues. So all the big trucks are struggling to sell. As a matter of fact, it's so bad even Nissan decided to punt the full-size Titan. It's waving bye-bye by the dodo bird. So what are buyers deciding to do instead of buying one of these full-size pickup trucks that are clearly worth $118,000? Well, people are getting a little more creative. So people are starting to make different decisions. Gone are the days of wanting that great looking 4x4. It's a gas guzzler. It's expensive, $60,000, $70,000 for a Jeep Wrangler. People are opting out of those kind of vehicles. Higher insurance costs, higher tire costs. When you put a set of rubbers on these vehicles, it's going to cost you a ton of money. These roofs can be very expensive. And of course, just overall, it's not a very well-made vehicle. And not just truck sales are tanking. We're looking at electric vehicles too. EVs, for example, like Tesla. Clearly, we see them literally falling off the cliff in terms of value. People aren't buying them. They're very expensive to own and operate. Heavy-duty tires, they get expensive when batteries start to fail on those vehicles. So people are looking to be more frugal. Vehicles that are lower cost of insurance, lower cost of fuel, and of course trucks, large SUVs, electric vehicles don't meet the criteria. And a lot of people are coming to the realization, you look at trucks like this great little F-150, this is yesterday's news. I mean, look at the small scale headlights. Of course, this is a very basic looking truck. We're talking about an XLT, very mid-level, of course. You have the little touchpad to get in, but it's nothing really to write home about. We're talking about an XTR 4x4, and yeah, it has all the basics. But what it doesn't have is value, because what yesterday might have cost, this vehicle might have cost about $70,000. And today, after 5 short years, a truck like this is probably only worth about $20,000, $25,000. And that's if the Ks are good and it runs really well. So people are starting to realize, where's my value add? And pickup trucks don't represent good value. Now everybody likes a pickup truck. That's why they become so popular. They've moved out of the space of just being a work vehicle to a place where people use them because they actually choose to drive them, and now they're coming equipped with leather interiors, sunroof, and a lot of other amenities, making them more like a luxury vehicle. Now, according to some of the latest sales reports, pickup trucks have been down year over year and last month over month. They're clearly not selling, and they've been declining for the last couple of years. We're seeing full-size SUVs also declining. They're not selling very well. And so while sales are down on mid-size cars as they have been for years, electric vehicles, full-size trucks, and full-size SUVs, cars like this are what people are now starting to elect to buy. And we're looking at compact cars like this. And according to statistics, these are the more popular vehicles these days. Something that's small, economical, like this great little Toyota Corolla here. This is a hybrid, even better yet. This vehicle clearly has a great presence. It's reliable, it's going to last forever, and it's ultimately cheap to maintain. But other vehicles, other than little compact cars like the little Toyota here, vehicles like this are also very popular. We're talking about subcompact SUVs. Nissan Kicks is a very popular choice. Here's an SR, and these vehicles here, they're small, diminutive, but they have all the features you need. Some of them have sunroofs on top. Some of them have all the greatest technology. And as a matter of fact, some of the Nissan products actually have a level of technology buried into there for safety tech that a lot of the other vehicles and competitors don't have. People are literally looking at some of these types of choices now, and statistically shows the smaller vehicles like this, like the cars, are the ones that are actually selling. And in some cases, instead of, people go shopping looking for the nice new SUV, in some cases, people are making a decision, instead of buying one of these nice new shiny SUVs, possibly even fix what you've got today. Used cars are ever more popular than they've ever been. And of course, particularly in that space of $5,000 to $15,000 is the sweet spot. You can still get yourself a quality used vehicle that usually is relatively well maintained. And there's even more popular space. People are starting to buy those older, really cheap vehicles under 5 grand. And so sometimes people are just electing to buy an older vehicle like this, a little bit of rust, maybe some dents and some broken body panels and a little bit of faded paint, but it can run for a long time. Or even an old rig like this are very, very popular in that sub $5,000 territory. Of course, they've got an interesting painted roof here. Of course, they've got peeling paint all over and a few dents and scratches. But these are the kind of vehicles that people are gravitating to because they can afford it. So while new full-size SUVs and pickup truck sales have been slumping, people are making different choices. Yes, trucks like this little Nissan Frontier here is a popular little truck, as is the new Tacoma, but they're not selling. Word has it the new Tacoma is going to be priced at a very, very high level. The Tundra is cost prohibitive. People are just broken and they can't afford the payments. And so with this extraordinarily high cost of living, inflation, interest rates that don't seem to be changing anytime soon, Ford has their host of issues of their own specific. And what do you think they're doing about it with their electrification? They're not selling Lightnings or Mustang Mach-E's, but what do you think Ford's gonna do? Hope to see each and every one in the next one. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.